Yes, like I always say, you cannot fake Jamaican food. It is that sacred, ladies and gentlemen. Thou shall not fake Jamaican food. You'd rather fake cheat. You'd rather fake up stories. You'd rather fake up stories. But when it comes to Jamaican food, that's where people draw the line, ladies and gentlemen. But again, something else that we also all agree with is that Jamaica is not the only country in the Caribbean.
Jamaica is not the only island in the Caribbean. There is a beautiful island called the Commonwealth of Dominica, which has a population of 72,000 people, which is about 290 square miles. So all of us is not from Jamaica. Have a wonderful day.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, allow me to say something that is very obvious, something that has already been said here on the internet. Okay, something that is very famous here on the internet, ladies and gentlemen. Jamaica is the Mecca of the Caribbean. I believe by now everyone knows that. I believe you have heard this a lot of times in the internet. Jamaica is the Mecca of the Caribbean, because it is true. Okay, Jamaica is the most pronounced country as we speak right now in the Caribbean. Okay, something that we all agree with. But again, something else that we also all agree with is that Jamaica is not the only country in the Caribbean.
Jamaica is not the only island in the Caribbean. There is a beautiful island called the Commonwealth of Dominica, which has a population of 72,000 people, which is about 290 square miles. So all of us is not from Jamaica. Have a wonderful day.
Okay, something that all Jamaicans still agree with, ladies and gentlemen. But this is what, and this is why Jamaica is very famous in the Caribbean. But before I move on with this discussion, ladies and gentlemen, allow me first of all to welcome you to my channel here. My name is Real Marcos, and I make real-time commentary videos about the Caribbean, Jamaica, or even Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not read scripts like a news reporter. If these are your kind of videos that you love, please feel free to subscribe and share. And also, from the look of things, there are very few of us who make actually very genuine and original videos about Jamaica. It's coming from the heart, and you know them. Go and watch their videos, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, unscripted. We do not read from the scripts. We do not read any scripts. Okay, now the Dominican man has said that Jamaica is not the only country in the Caribbean. Like I've said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that statement. It is true. Jamaica is not the only Caribbean country in the Caribbean. There is Dominican, his own country. There is Barbados. There is Trinidad. There is Grenada. There is St. Lucia, ladies and gentlemen. There is Belize. Okay. But one thing is for fact, it's a very tiny island. It's a very tiny island with a population of only 3 million. Okay, it's the size of the fight that counts. It's the size of the dog in a fight that counts, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and the perfect description for that is Jamaica. Look at how they are leading. They are leading in sports. They are leading in sport in the Caribbean as we speak, ladies and gentlemen. Look at where reggae was started. Reggae was started in Jamaica. But before I go on again with the most obvious facts, allow me again to say something. Jamaicans are very accepting people. Jamaicans are very accepting people. They are people from different nations, or they are people from across different nations that have been packed into that one small island called Jamaica. Ladies and gentlemen, that tells you that these guys are accepting people. Out of many, one people. They are Haitians. They are Haitians in Jamaica. They are Haitians in Jamaica, ladies and gentlemen. Jamaicans have accepted the Haitians in their own country. They have looked at them as human beings, as fellow human beings. So, ladies and gentlemen, they are Africans in Jamaica. They are Nigerians in Jamaica. They are Japanese in Jamaica. They are Chinese in Jamaica. There are people from the USA who have come and settled in Jamaica. There are people from Canada who have come and settled in Jamaica. There are people from Italy. Out of many, one people. They live by that word. They live by that saying. Out of many, one people. One thing that makes Jamaica very beautiful is that they are accepting people. They have one of the best receptions in the world. They do not look at the color of the skin. Otherwise, they are Asians living there. They are Asians in Jamaica. Yes, they are Asians in Jamaica. See how amazing that is? When you give love, the universe returns back love to you. When you show love to the people, the universe returns love back to you. I think See, that is how a universe is supposed to be. That's how a universe, okay, let me say this. That's how a paradise is supposed to be. A paradise is supposed to be accepting, ladies and gentlemen. Paradise is supposed to accept people from different nations, regardless of the color of the skin, ladies and gentlemen, regardless of where you are coming from. That's how the paradise is. That's a perfect description of a paradise, ladies and gentlemen, where people from all across racial backgrounds come and converge into one place, ladies and gentlemen. And that place is Jamaica. Okay? Because, of course, there are Africans there. Majority are actually Afro-Jamaicans. Jamaicans with African ancestry, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Then, of course, we have Japanese, we have Asians, we have Chinese, we have people from Germany, we have people from the USA, we have people from Italy. All those, they have converged into that one small island, including the Asian people. Including, let me sensitize that more. Including the Asian people. Jamaicans have accepted even the Haitians. They have looked at them as their fellow human beings, as people who deserve love and respect, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Of course, most of us know and understand why I am sensitizing. Most Jamaicans understand very well why I am sensitizing on the Haitians. Because we all know the relationship between the Haitians and the Dominicans, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So, number one, another thing is sports. Look at sports. Look at sports, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, on 16 August, there's going to be another big sports. There's going to be another rematch between Noah Lyles and Keishan Thompson. I'm sure you have also heard about that rematch between Noah Lyles and Keishan Thompson. That is going to be one of the biggest rematch. Okay? Because that race is not just any other race. The last time these two guys raced against each other, it was in 2024 Paris Olympics, ladies and gentlemen, where Noah Lyles won by 0.005. Okay, something that is still in discussion up to date. So they are going to have another rematch once again, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and the two countries that are coming up is USA and Jamaica. So as we speak right now, Jamaica is still on topic. Can you imagine? Because of that match, Jamaica is still on topic. Noah Lyles and Keishan Thompson. Rematch on 16 August. Diamond League in Poland, ladies and gentlemen. Who do you think is going to win? Who do you think is going to win? Let me know in the comment section. Between Noah Lyles and Keishan Thompson, they are going to once again have another rematch. Who do you think? Who do you think is going to win? Let me say once again why Jamaica is still very famous in the Caribbean. The media has propelled Jamaica to a greater length, ladies and gentlemen. When the media is speaking about the Caribbean in general, you will see Jamaican flag popping out. Okay, you will see Jamaican theme flags popping out. You will see reggae popping out. You will see Jamaican culture popping out. You will hear Jamaican name or word popping out every now and then, ladies and gentlemen. So, this is something that is registering subconsciously in most people's mind, that Jamaica. Jamaica. Ask any person, even here in Kenya, to name for you any country in the Caribbean. Jamaica will come in their head. Jamaica will come in their mind, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Because the media has propelled, the media has reinforced Jamaica, the word Jamaica, in the televisions and everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Even you have seen yourself, where you have talked about Jamaica, you have put Jamaican text, and you have seen the traction, the views, and the comments that you have got, ladies and gentlemen. It is paradise. It is paradise. I told you, it is paradise. Otherwise, where else will people converge from different places of the world and be accepted? It is Jamaica. Yes, I know the system sometimes has failed, but they are trying in their own best way. There are some things that they have failed, but there are things that they have tried. Okay, but as a country in general, it's a very wonderful place. Okay, I have never seen where people walking in a forest and they are harvesting crabs, they are catching fish, they are harvesting coconuts free of charge. Yeah, I've never seen. I saw that in Jamaica and I was so surprised. I saw the youth going to the river and harvesting crabs, harvesting fish. The nature is already providing food for you. Huh? I have seen, coconuts. Ladies and gentlemen, how amazing is that? If you are born in Jamaica, consider yourself very lucky. Consider yourself very lucky. Now look at Jamaican food, ladies and gentlemen. Look at how amazing and beautiful Jamaican food is. Look at how delicious Jamaican food is. Like I always say, you cannot fake Jamaican food. It is that sacred, ladies and gentlemen. Thou shalt not fake Jamaican food. You'd rather fake cheat. You'd rather fake up stories. You'd rather fake up stories. But when it comes to Jamaican food, that's where people draw the line, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to annoy Jamaican people, mess around with their food. Okay, that's why I always say, if you're non-Jamaican and you want to cook Jamaican food, you go to Jamaica first, or go where Jamaicans are. They are wherever you are, find a Jamaican nearest to your town. Almost all the countries in the world, they have an attachment to Jamaicans. They have Jamaicans. Even here in Kenya, there are Jamaicans. Go to where Jamaicans are. Let them show you how to cook and prepare Jamaican food, ladies and gentlemen. Let them show you how to, step by step. Do not do it yourself. Do not see it on the internet and say, I'm going to do it yourself. Because if you mess up Jamaican food, that's really bad. I'm not lying to you. They don't play around with their food, ladies and gentlemen. Jamaicans don't play around with their food.